Hey everybody, what's good? I am so happy that you're here with me today. We have a really exciting project planned for today, and it's actually my first time doing this project, and I have been waiting for the supplies to do this in the mail for a little while, and they've arrived, and I'm so excited to try this project out. We are going to be making resin painting palettes. They're flat palettes. We have a silicone mold, and we're going to be pressing flowers and different types of glitter into that mold. Um, so yeah, I'm just really excited to try this out with you guys. We have UV reactive resin, so we have like a light to harden the resin, and yeah, let's get started on this project, you guys. So here are all the supplies that we will be using today for our project. This is the silicone mold right here. And it is, in the shape of a painting palette. This right here is a respirator. It's important to use this when you're working with resin, especially UV resin. It has kind of a strong odor, so you want to make sure you're protecting yourself from natural vapors. This is the natural vapors paint cartridges that we have here. Also, it's nice to have a little bit of eye protection too, considering we're working with UV blue light, which can be damaging to the eyes with prolonged exposure. These are all of the flowers that we have here. So I was thinking about doing kind of like a pink and red themed palette for the first palette. It's getting close to Valentine's Day, and why not do something a little bit of love with a little bit of romance? And we got this glitter confetti. We've got cups for mixing the glitter into the resin. We've got our cotton swabs, sticks so we can mix it. We've got this right here, which is a torch lighter, which is good for getting some of those bubbles out of the resin. This right here is the UV light that we will be using. I'll put the link in the description. It's the Ultra Fire Light. So it is a blue light, and that will help cure the resin that we will be working with. Also, we've got these gloves. I actually heard that latex sometimes can interact poorly with the resin, so we went ahead and got these latex-free gloves. And yeah. And we almost forgot the star of the show. This is the UV hard resin that we will be working with. It is UV reactive, so you're going to want to be careful with this and work in a well-ventilated area, possibly with the fan going, but you also do not want to get this in any type of sunlight. It cures so fast. So you don't want this to start hardening while you're trying to work with it. So just be mindful not to pour this when you're in any direct sunlight. And you can also use the blue UV light like I had just showed you. We're all geared up and ready to go. I just finished my last layer of resin, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my palette outside to soak up some of the last little bits of sunlight to make it a little less tacky. All right, everybody, here is our beautiful palette. We set it outside in the sun for a while to soak in those UV rays, and now we are about to pull the palette from the mold. So I flipped it upside down this evening, and I kind of illuminated the back side of it just in case there was any sticky or tacky to the resin that was on the first layer, as it didn't get as much UV light as the top layers did. So yeah, I have my UV light right here just in case we run into any sticky stuff that we need to light up real quick, and let's pull it from the mold and see what we got. So here is our gorgeous palette in the sunlight that we have created. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. It is really so whimsical and fairy-like and pretty. You can see all of the sweet little flowers that we added, all of those little flakes of glitter that shine and reflect the light so beautifully. All of the little ferns that are inside of this, it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know how I'm going to be able to put paint on this. Maybe I'll just hang it on my wall. So we have a little bit of work to do along the edges. See how it kind of, let me focus. See, you can kind of see how it sticks up a little bit on the edges, and it's not exactly a clean line across. So what we're going to be doing is sanding down some of those edges and just fine-tuning it so we will have our finished product. But I just wanted to show you how pretty this looks in the sunshine. So here are all of the materials that we're going to be using to clean up those edges on our painting palette. We have our respirator and goggles so we don't breathe in any resin particulate and we don't get any in our eyes. We have our different degrees of sandpaper grits, one of them being very coarse all the way up into an ultra fine grit. The reason that we have a variant in different grits is because the more coarse grit will help you to grind down more of those chunky pieces that are sticking out, and then you slowly go to the less gritty for the final touches, so that way you get a nice clean smooth finish. And this is our sprayable water. This is just water inside here, and that kind of helps to keep the particles from going all over the place. It keeps that sandpaper gliding smooth across the palette surface, and it just makes a really nice smooth clean finish. sanding. If you decide to do this project yourself, do be a little bit patient. I know it takes a long time to sand it down to get it to where you want it to be, in order for it to become more see-through and transparent, but just keep with it and you'll get there. And let's take a look at our finished product. All right, so here is the palette that we just finished sanding. And even through sanding, you can see that many of the flowers, you can still see them very clearly. That was the purpose behind using that really fine, coarse grit, is to kind of buffer things out so you can see transparency inside of the palette. So this is the final result. There are certain types of resin coatings that you can put on things in order for them to make them appear more glossy and shiny. I think for now we will just leave ours like this, but it came out really lovely either way. So I hope that you learned some tips and tricks to be able to make your own flower palette if you would like to. And I hope that this was informative and fun for you guys to watch. I think I'm going to be giving this palette to a good friend of mine who is also an artist for Valentine's Day. It seems appropriate for Valentine's Day because it has all these pink and red flowers and all of these little specks of glitter hearts. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey, and let's wrap this up so we can get it in the mail. Thanks everybody for tuning into this special Valentine's paint palette resin tutorial. I've got my package right here and I'm getting ready to go and send it. Thanks so much. Hope you all have a wonderful month, a wonderful life. I love you all. Thanks.